Breaking news! Something interesting is happening around the Cincinnati Bengals, and while it may not be grabbing the biggest headlines across the NFL, it could end up playing an important role as preparations for the 2026 season continue. Several Bengals players are putting in extra work during the offseason. Young talent is looking for another level, and contract discussions are beginning to take shape. There are multiple storylines developing at the same time, and each one gives fans another reason to be excited about what's ahead. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you enjoy daily Bengals coverage. This is the place for fans who want to stay up to date with everything happening around the team throughout the off-season and beyond. Now, let's get to what really matters. One of the biggest off-season developments involves Tight End University, a special event that has become one of the most respected off-season programs for players at the position. This isn't simply a few days of running drills on a practice field. It's an opportunity for NFL tight ends to spend several days learning from some of the very best players to ever play the position, studying film together, exchanging ideas, improving technique, and continuing their development before training camp begins. The Bengals have 3 representatives participating this year: Mike Gesicki, Drew Sample, and rookie Jack Endries. Whether each player arrived through an invitation or another selection process isn't completely clear. But what matters is that Cincinnati has strong representation at an event designed to help players become even better professionals. The program itself carries plenty of credibility. It was started by Travis Kelce, George Kittle, and Greg Olsen, combining current stars with one of the league's most respected former tight ends. The entire goal is simple: help tight ends continue growing together while sharing knowledge that normally isn't available during the regular season. For Cincinnati, that's encouraging. The Bengals may not feature an offense centered around the tight end position, but that doesn't mean the room lacks importance. Every player attending has something different to gain. Mike Gesicki enters as the veteran of the group. He's already proven himself as a productive NFL tight end, but continuing to improve never stops. Even experienced veterans benefit from spending time around other elite players, refining details of their game, and preparing themselves mentally for another season. One of the biggest challenges for Gesicki is simply the nature of Cincinnati's offense. There is so much offensive talent available that opportunities naturally get distributed elsewhere at times. That doesn't mean Gesicki hasn't been valuable. Quite the opposite. Whenever his number has been called, he has consistently delivered positive contributions. Rather than expecting overwhelming receiving numbers, the focus is on efficiency and making plays when opportunities arrive. That has been one of the strongest parts of Gesicki's game with Cincinnati, and there's every reason to believe another off-season of work can help him continue that trend. Then there's Drew Sample. Sample is entering the final year of the 3-year contract he signed with Cincinnati. Since arriving as a second-round selection, opinions about his career have naturally varied. But one thing is difficult to ignore: the Bengals have continued trusting him year after year. Organizations don't keep players around for this long unless they believe those players provide value. Sample continues working to improve, despite already having several NFL seasons under his belt, and his participation at Tight End University shows that commitment hasn't changed. Improvement doesn't stop once a player becomes established. In many cases, veterans understand that better than anyone else. Perhaps the most intriguing attendee, however, is rookie Jack Endries. As a 7th-round draft pick, nothing is guaranteed for him. Roster spots aren't handed out based on draft status that late in the draft. Every practice matters. Every special teams rep matters. Every opportunity to learn matters. That's exactly why participating in Tight End University feels like such a positive step. Before making the trip, Endries spoke about surrounding himself with great players and experienced veterans who have taken care of themselves and stayed in the league for many years. His mindset is exactly what coaches want to hear from a young player entering the NFL. Instead of believing he already has the answers, he's looking to absorb as much knowledge as possible. Learning from players who have enjoyed long careers can only help accelerate that development. For a rookie trying to earn his place, every advantage counts. The Bengals' tight end room continues to feature several names beyond those attending the event. Eric All Jr. remains part of the conversation, although some recent health management has naturally limited his participation in certain off-season activities. Considering his situation, avoiding unnecessary strain appears to be the smart approach. Tanner Hudson also remains a familiar and popular presence among Bengals fans. Meanwhile, undrafted rookie Josh Catus hasn't generated significant buzz yet, but at the same time, he also hasn't done anything to negatively impact his standing. At this stage of the offseason, consistency can be just as valuable as splash plays. Overall, Cincinnati's tight end room continues working toward becoming deeper and more complete, and seeing multiple players voluntarily investing additional time into their development should be viewed as a positive sign. As encouraging as the tight end news is, another storyline may have even bigger long-term implications. DJ Turner. The conversation surrounding Turner has shifted dramatically over the last year. Instead of asking whether he can become a reliable starter, people are now asking what his next level looks like. According to NFL Network's Cam Wolfe, Turner stood out as Cincinnati's #1 cornerback during his first opportunity in a major role and has continued carrying that momentum throughout the spring. Perhaps even more impressive is the approach Turner has taken during a contract year. Rather than staying away from off-season workouts, he chose to participate and continue improving. That decision says plenty about his mentality. Wolf also highlighted the influence of position coach Charles Burks, whose goal is helping Turner develop into one of the NFL's elite cornerbacks. That's an ambitious objective. Becoming one of the top 5 corners in football requires consistency, leadership, production, and the ability to elevate everyone around you. And that's exactly where the next challenge begins. Turner's growth isn't simply about individual statistics anymore. The expectation now is that his development helps transform the perception of Cincinnati's defense as a whole. If the secondary improves, the entire defense benefits. If Turner continues playing at a true CB1 level, opposing passing attacks become much more difficult to execute. Everything is connected. The Bengals already know what Turner accomplished last season. He established himself as a legitimate starting cornerback on a defense searching for stability. Even during difficult moments for the unit, Turner consistently gave fans reasons for optimism. Now the expectations naturally become higher. Can he build upon that success? Can he become even more consistent? Can he help elevate the players around him? Those are the questions that will define his 2026 season. And, of course, they also connect directly to another major topic: his future contract. Extension discussions continue surrounding multiple Bengals players, but Turner appears to be among the biggest priorities. Reports indicate that conversations between Turner's representatives and the Bengals have at least begun. While nothing appears imminent, it's clear both sides understand the importance of the situation. Turner himself has made it clear that football remains his primary focus, while acknowledging that discussions are taking place behind the scenes. That's exactly how many players prefer to handle contract years. Let the agents negotiate, focus on the field, continue producing. Financially, Turner represents a completely different conversation compared to several other extension candidates. His projected market falls into the category of premium cornerback contracts, making this one of the more significant financial decisions Cincinnati will eventually face. Another player mentioned in recent extension discussions is Dax Hill. Hill remains an interesting case. The Bengals exercised his fifth-year option, ensuring he'll remain with the team this season, but his long-term future is still an open question. According to ESPN's Ben Baby, Hill finished the 2025 season strongly after returning from the ACL injury that interrupted his previous year. Throughout his career, Hill has demonstrated valuable versatility by playing multiple positions in the secondary. The biggest uncertainty isn't necessarily his talent. It's determining exactly how the Bengals value that versatility within their long-term plans. That's what makes Hill's situation more complicated. He's shown flashes. He's overcome injury adversity. He's capable of contributing in different roles. But whether all of that results in a new long-term contract remains something only time will answer. Looking at the broader picture, Cincinnati has several important contract decisions approaching. DJ Turner, Dax Hill, Chase Brown, Dalton Risner, Miles Murphy. Each situation carries different priorities, different financial considerations, and different expectations. Some may be resolved sooner than others. Some may ultimately depend entirely on how the 2026 season unfolds. At the moment, Turner and Chase Brown appear to have the strongest momentum when discussing future extensions, while several other players may need another productive season before their situations become clearer. That's one of the fascinating parts of every NFL offseason. Player development and contract discussions often move together. Every great performance increases value. Every improvement changes negotiations. Every season creates new opportunities. For Bengals fans, that's exactly what makes this stretch of the offseason so interesting. Players continue investing in their development. Young talent is chasing another level. Veterans are still finding ways to improve. And the front office continues evaluating which players should become part of Cincinnati's future for years to come. The next several months will provide many of those answers. What do you think about the Bengals sending 3 tight ends to tight end university? How confident are you in DJ Turner becoming one of the league's elite cornerbacks? And if you could choose today, would you extend DJ Turner, Dax Hill, or both? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what every Bengals fan thinks about these developing storylines as we get closer to the 2026 season. Who Dey?